RyanP is a name that the average viewer of YouTube is probably unfamiliar with, but he has actually been one of the most important figures on YouTube over the past 5 years. RyanP is a YouTube channel manager who does a lot of behind the scenes work for dozens of YouTubers. He is most well known for being the manager of the YouTuber group The Misfits, but he has also managed HeyImBee, Cryos, Smitty, ZexyZek, Willin, CallMeCarson and Lunch Club, The Goons, The E-Boys, and OfflineTV. Additionally, he and his team have worked on merchandise for Valkyrie, Corpse Husband, and some members of the DreamSMP. It's safe to say that RyanP has had a pretty big role in the modern era of YouTube. However, recently, Ryan has come under fire from a former employee of Misfits management, accusing him of various acts of sexual misconduct. Despite RyanP's importance in the community, and the fact that these allegations went semi-viral on Twitter, I have not seen many people make their own video on these allegations. So today, I will be breaking down the full situation and give a lot of context that I think most people who aren't terminally online don't know about. Let's get right into it. First, I'm going to give some background on who RyanP's accuser is, because it is important to the situation. RyanP's accuser is a guy by the name of Sam Peckett, known online as just Peckett. However, Peckett is not just some random guy they hired for the company. Peckett is actually one of RyanP's oldest YouTube connections. Back in 2016, before the Misfits started, there was a large Minecraft SMP called The Cube. Peckett was never part of The Cube officially, but did run his own YouTube channel and frequently collabed with them, appearing in their Ultra Hardcore series. The two most notable creators from The Cube he collabed with were fellow Australians StrauberryJam and HeyImBee. The three of them also created their own Ultra Hardcore server, UHC Zone, which popularized the Speed UHC and Flower Powered game modes. Around this time, RyanP was also integrating himself into the Cube's community, hanging out with members HBomb94, D-Field, and, most importantly, Straub, Peckett, and B. When the Cube SMP dissolved, RyanP continued to work with the three of them, and all four of them moved into a house together in April of 2026. Over time, Straub and Peckett quit their channels to do behind-the-scenes work for the Misfits with Ryan, while B continued to make her own content. This went on until November of 2022, when all of a sudden, Peckett deleted all of his tweets and started making vague comments about the Australian YouTube community, until finally releasing a statement about RyanP and the Misfits. Instead of summarizing, I will just read it word for word so you guys receive all the information. Throughout my time working with the Misfits and their merch company, I was continually put into extremely uncomfortable situations with Ryan and made to partake in sexual acts which I would only ever agree to after being coerced. Told I would get a promotion, get to live with my friends, taken on overseas trips, or made a money offer I wasn't in a position to refuse, as I was underpaid and never paid on time. I've witnessed him perv on his employees in the shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, and take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs. He uses his money and influence to manipulate vulnerable people into fulfilling his sexual desires. I know of many more stories that make me sick and give me nightmares to this day. It's not my place to share them, but for others with similar experiences, you're not alone. The Misfits are aware of at least some of these actions and choose to look the other way and leave their audience and staff open to abuse. I have lost all respect for them. Having a platform is a privilege, and the people that allow you to have one should be protected. Real quick, I just want to focus on the last section of Peckett's statement about the Misfits. So let's assume for a minute that the accusations about RyanP are 100% correct. Obviously, I am not anywhere near as knowledgeable about the situation as Peckett is, but I would not try to imply that the Misfits are partly responsible for enabling RyanP's behavior in this statement. For all we know, it is possible that some of the Misfits have been victims of RyanP themselves, and are too scared to talk about it to anyone. Peckett mentions that Ryan has acted similarly to plenty of other men besides himself, and yet as far as I am aware, Peckett is the only person to publicly come out about Ryan's predatory behavior. I don't think it is out of the question that, if Ryan was abusing Peckett, he could have also been abusing any of the Misfits. Is there a chance that Peckett is truthful in saying that the Misfits did enable RyanP's behavior? Yes, but the conversation to be had about that is a lot more tricky than the conversation about the accusations that are solely about RyanP, so for the purposes of this video, I'll try to only focus on RyanP. Now that we got that out of the way, this would be the time where I talk about how RyanP, the Misfits, and the greater YouTube community reacted. However, this is pretty much where the story ends, at least at first glance. Peckett made this one big accusation without any evidence, it received a little over 20,000 likes, and then nothing happened. Over a month later, RyanP has not made any statement responding to the accusations, and neither have the Misfits or any of the other creators RyanP is close with. On the other hand, Peckett has barely said anything either, only given 2 updates. In the first one, he claims that he does not have to give evidence to his claims as he doesn't owe anyone anything. In the second, he claims that RyanP and the Misfits have yet to give any response, although this tweet is now deleted. There is some circumstantial evidence unknown to most people that gives more credence to Peckett's story, and I'll get into that now. First, since Peckett's accusations have dropped, RyanP has deactivated his Instagram account, and the Misfits management website has been taken down. Interestingly, Peckett was on the website up until September 2021, when he left the company. A little ironic considering Lunch Club was never removed. Additionally, on LinkedIn, it says RyanP left Misfits management in 2022, but it also still shows him working for the actual Misfits YouTube channel and for Misfits management's associate company, Revolt. Also, in the days that followed Peckett's tweet, Rambo and Pokey might have unfollowed RyanP on Twitch. This could just be a coincidence or an acknowledgement that they have seen and believed the accusations. There were also a handful of associates of the Misfits who did come out and support Peckett silently by liking or retweeting his post. Among the people who liked Peckett's tweet were YouTubers Kaizo, Drummy, and Bluesdank, Australian Twitch streamer Purple T, ex-League of Legends pro Maximize Ois, musician George Pham, and ex-SMP Live members C-Scoop and Joko. Out of all these people, I would say Kaizo, Drummy, C-Scoop, and Joko are the most notable, as these 4 I know for a fact have either worked or met up with both RyanP and Peckett. A few other creators have also supported Peckett through replies or quote retweets, including ex-CubeSMP member Tibsy, CubeSMP associate Shallow Apples, SMP Live associate iRush the World, and Australian Twitch streamers Gwen Mellon and Jordy XP. It is also worth noting that there is only a single Misfits associate who did come out to kinda support RyanP. He is Cloudy, SwaggerSo's former editor, and he claimed that sexual behavior was normalized at the Misfits working environment, which honestly probably is not a good thing, and he also asked to see more evidence before he made a decision. Finally, there are 2 more tweets that I saw around the same time as Peckett's that I want to bring up. The first is from a guy named Fellow Gingy, who claims to have a similar, albeit less severe experience with RyanP. This is notable as he is actually HeyImBee's ex-boyfriend. The second is from an account named Mutton Chops Man, who claims that RyanP is the Jeffrey Epstein of gaming YouTube, and many YouTubers are complicit in his behavior. I bring this tweet up because Mr. Mutton Chops is followed by a name I am sure you are familiar with, Noah Hugbox. A few months before Peckett came out with his accusations, a former friend of CallMeCarson and member of the Lunch Club named Noah Hugbox came out with his own accusations against RyanP. However, like Peckett, Noah did not provide any proof for any of his claims. Additionally, Noah Hugbox is not the most respected individual in the community for reasons I'll get into later, but before I talk about the validity of his claims, I'll go over what Noah Hugbox accused RyanP of doing. Noah's tweet longer is pretty long and also includes a bunch of stuff about Mizkif, JSlat, and other creators who are not relevant to today's accusations, so I'll not read the entire statement, like I did for Peckett, and instead give a brief summarization. A link to the full tweet longer will be in the description. I do need to give some background information on Noah's allegations. Most of the problems Noah has with RyanP come down to how Ryan handled the CallMeCarson grooming allegations behind the scenes. There is a lot of debate over whether or not Carson actually did anything wrong in the situation, and while I have previously explained at length about why I think Carson was in the wrong and even got off easy, it does not really matter what you think actually happened. Both Noah and Ryan are ultimately on the same side in this controversy, as they both believe the accusations against Carson. So even if you are a diehard Carson supporter, please just recognize that everyone involved in this controversy is operating under the mindset that Carson was actually wrong. Also, Noah Hugbox had previously been talking about all of these accusations on his Twitch and in interviews since early 2021, so I may talk about Noah's accusations against RyanP as if they have been around for years, because they technically have. However, since this tweet longer is the most recent, concise, and popular place where Noah has let out all of his allegations, I am using this tweet longer as the place where Noah quote-unquote officially exposed RyanP. But just keep in mind throughout the rest of this video that Noah has been accusing RyanP of wrongdoings for years. Noah claims that when he, Ryan, and the rest of the Lunch Club first found out about the CallMeCarson grooming allegations, 9 months before it became public, Ryan boldly claimed that he had dealt with these types of things before. Then, when Ryan found out that Noah was finally going public with the accusations, Ryan contacted Carson, warned him, and tried to help him prepare for the incoming storm. Ryan also tried to convince Noah to make a commentary expose style video on Carson instead of handling it the way he did. And in March of 2021, He tried to bribe Noah to stop talking about him and the Carson allegations on his Twitch. This was after Noah had told Ryan that he was only doing content creation as a way of helping his dad, who at the time was battling cancer, save up for retirement. So Noah believes that Ryan trying to bribe him was him also trying to use his dad's battle with cancer to guilt trip him into staying quiet. He then states that the entire Misfits management freaks him out, especially when there is a young audience involved like the DreamSMP. Finally, he ends his tweet longer by saying he is only saying all of this to let people know how dangerous these people are, and that he never signed any NDAs, so he probably can't be sued for saying any of this. These accusations are not as bad as what Peckett accused Ryan of doing, but if true, are still not good, as Ryan essentially tried to cover up a grooming scandal for months, for reasons that are beyond our understanding. However, there is obviously a big elephant in the room. The person these accusations are coming from is Noah Hugbox. Over the past 2 years, Noah has developed a reputation of being cryptic, egotistical, and dishonest with a lot of the things he says, so very few people actually take him seriously anymore. However, this is a reputation that I personally believe to be unwarranted. The most common criticism of Noah I have seen is that people claim that he is clout chasing. A lot of people think that Noah is only trying to stir up drama so that he can gain more attention. However, I disagree with this interpretation. If Noah Hugbox really was just clout chasing whenever he makes a post about RyanP or someone else, then there would have to be some sort of attempt at trying to create content or drop merchandise for him to actually capitalize on the clout he would receive from stirring up drama. But by the time Noah began to actively talk about a lot of these issues, he had practically quit YouTube and rarely streamed on Twitch. Since he has made the final tweet longer talking about RyanP, he has not made any content whatsoever. Is this because he was going to release some epic comeback video right after the tweet longer to capitalize off the attention that fell through? Or because he genuinely wants nothing to do with the YouTube community anymore? Considering that he himself pointed out how he could have made a lot more money by making a commentary video on CallMeCarson, but he refused, I think it is the latter. As for the idea that Noah should just move on at this point, to some extent I agree. It is pretty silly that we are still talking about this 2 years after the initial CallMeCarson allegations became public. But just because Noah should have moved on at this point, does not mean that what RyanP allegedly did was okay. Both of these things can be true at the same time. This thought process also holds true for the criticism that Noah is too cryptic or too egotistical, or is foolish for assuming that something he says on another person's Twitch stream in front of 90 viewers will become common knowledge. Yes, Noah might be a douchebag, but just because he is, does not make what he is saying any less true. I have also seen a lot of people claim that Noah lies a lot or is dishonest, but I have no clue where this is coming from. I have been following Noah's comments on RyanP, CallMeCarson, and all the other niche internet micro-celebrities since the start, but I have yet to catch Noah in a single lie so far, and have not seen anybody even try to point out a specific time where Noah has lied. I assume people just say that Noah is lying because the people he criticizes are genuinely likable figures, and that he also never provides any evidence for his claims. Of course, that ties into the biggest issue of Noah and also Peckett's accusations against RyanP. There is not any concrete evidence he actually did any of those things. All we really have are these testimonies and a few other creators' words of support. Honestly, I think it is entirely rational to want to wait to see actual evidence before taking any stance on this situation. However, I do want to pose a genuine thought experiment. If Peckett and Noah really were lying about RyanP for whatever reason, would it not be super easy for one of the Misfits to make a tweet immediately responding to the allegations and debunk them? Peckett and Noah are tiny creators compared to Fitz, JSlat, and even RyanP. Any of them could reply to these tweets with something like, "Stop lying about me for attention, these accusations are all untrue and I'll be making a full response shortly." But instead, it has been a full month since Peckett's allegations came out, and nobody involved with the Misfits have even tried saying, "We'll be giving a statement soon." Noah has literally been ranting about how RyanP tried to cover up a grooming scandal behind the scenes for years, and Ryan has never tried to defend himself against that accusation either. For comparison, there has been an unfortunate trend in the DreamSMP over the past year, where bad actors have been trying to cancel creators like Bad Boy Halo and Sapnap with false allegations, and whenever they make some Twitter thread trying to expose them, the DreamSMP responds pretty quickly by debunking the allegations. Of course, this makes it so that when they do take their time addressing allegations or ignore them entirely they look suspicious, but that's a story for another day. Personally, I believe that the burden of evidence in this situation is a two-way street. While Peckett and Noah have not given any hard proof to support their accusations, RyanP has not given any evidence or even a statement that tries to discredit their accusations either. Maybe their rationale is that they think Peckett and Noah are so irrelevant that they would only blow up the situation by responding to it, but by never addressing the allegations, it just seems like RyanP is dodging them. Especially when you consider that Noah's accusations about Ryan essentially boil down to him trying to help another creator dodge his own sexual misconduct allegations. There are a few more miscellaneous things I want to mention before I end this video. First, according to people on the Misfits Reddit, Misfits member Zuckles has been banning people in his Twitch chat who have asked about Peckett. Honestly, this could mean anything from that he and the rest of the Misfits fully support RyanP, so that something has been done behind the scenes to remove Ryan from Misfits, but they do not want to talk about it publicly. Also, back in September of 2022, TikToker Aviva Sophia detailed her own experience as a creator under Misfits management in a video posted to her YouTube channel. She did not mention RyanP's name at all in the video. In fact, the only employee she did talk about was a girl, but she also had a negative experience working alongside the company. I would recommend just watching her video, but the too long didn't read is that Aviva had a stalker who began to send her death threats with specific dates attached to her business email, which was run by Misfits management. Yet Misfits management did not inform her of these threats until after the dates had passed. Like I said before, this almost certainly was not RyanP's fault, as he was not the one in charge of Aviva's emails, but I think it does follow a trend I have laid out in this video for Misfits management. Finally, I want to provide more context to one of Noah's claims, that being that RyanP has dealt with situations similar to grooming allegations before. While I am not 100% sure about this, I believe Ryan was probably talking about either the Fedmeister situation, which was when the female members of OfflineTV came out with sexual misconduct allegations against fellow OfflineTV member Fedmeister, or the X-Biani situation, which was when a member of the DreamSMP, X-Biani, groomed a fan. And this was subsequently covered up for years until the victim finally came forward in 2021. As previously mentioned, Ryan has worked with both of these groups, but I am unsure of if he was working with them at the time. It is possible that Ryan was actually referring to another grooming allegation that still has not come out, or maybe Noah really was making all this up, and this video was all for nothing. So, what can we take away from this video? I honestly have no clue. This is one of the hardest videos I've ever written, because of how incomprehensible most of this drama is. It should not even be drama because this is all dealing with actual crimes. Ultimately, whether you believe Peckett and Noah or believe RyanP does not really matter. None of us have any real sway behind the scenes to do anything about it. Just be careful whenever you interact with content creators online or in person. The past few years have shown that sexual misconduct of all shapes and sizes are rampant in the gaming community, no matter if you are watching the edgiest of Twitch streamers or the most child-friendly of Minecraft YouTubers. And, chances are, even if the misconduct is not coming from RyanP himself, it is coming from a creator he manages. Stay safe everyone and have a happy new year!